Good morning, YouTube. It is Suburban Garden Permaculture Style Guy, and I'm going to do a video about blueberries today. Specifically, blueberries in Texas, because that's where I'm at. I'm going to try to do kind of a plant profile on most of my major plant groupings that I have, and today it's going to be blueberries. I'm surprised that blueberries do so well in Texas. I don't see a lot of gardening videos from my state. A lot of the gardening videos seem to be in the Midwest or the East Coast, the Carolinas, and all that sort of thing. I mean, there's a lot of great video content that comes out of those areas, but it's just not a lot of it from my area. So it's hard for someone in North Texas to get a lot of great YouTube information sometimes. So I wanted to go ahead and provide that. If we can do it down here in Texas, I assume you can do this just about anywhere, because blueberries are not known to be a heat-loving plant. These things are from up north, Washington, all across the East Coast, Canada, all that. So Texas is only like 40 miles from the surface of the sun every summer, apparently, because that's what it feels like. And the fact that we can do this, you don't see that represented on YouTube very much. So here you are. Here's what we're going to talk about. I'm not the definitive plant guy, even though I know a lot of stuff that I just picked up on my own. But I can tell you some stuff. Like, there are apparently 3 major families of blueberries. Rabbit eye, which is what we grow down here, a northern high bush, and a southern high bush, something like that. High bushes and low bushes, whatever. But the rabbit eye is what we're going to look at down here. So these are not specialty bought plants. Now, most of my trees are bought from a specialty place called Trees of Antiquity. And these are antique varieties of trees. This wood on these trees that has a date on it, like this first one, it's from 1901, Luther Burbank. That piece of wood of that tree has never died since 1901. One of these is from the 1700s. That wood's been alive since the 1700s. These, I can't tell you, these are from Home Depot. These are not special, awesome varieties. There are 4 trees. There's 2 in each box. 2 of the trees total, I know what they are. One is Climax, and I think it's in this corner. And the opposite corner is my other oldest one is Tiff Blue. I've had those since before we bought this house 6 years ago in a pot in a duplex we used to live in. So I just realized that the other day when I started making videos. I've actually had these 2 plants for like 7 years. I'm like, wow. And they took a long time to get going good in this box I created for them. I bought 2 new ones to go with them from Home Depot, and they were unnamed varieties. They were just called blueberries, which is ridiculous, because I might want to make sure I had cross-pollination with different varieties. Well, you don't know that if it's just called blueberries. Thanks, Home Depot, on that one. But I did get these from Home Depot years ago, and they were named Tip Blue and Climax, so I got them opposite. So anyway, again, just Home Depot specials, and I put them in, and they have done better. So this back one is the Home Depot special. The front one is the 7-year-old bush. The front one is the Home Depot special. The back one is the 7-year-old bush. And it seems to me that these are doing a little better. These guys are this just came up last year. I mean, these guys came from little bitty things way down here to these giant bushes in a lot shorter amount of time than these well-established things ever started to grow up. So I think they were just pot bound is what I think it was. And so this is the Home Depot special, and it's really taken off from this little bitty thing I only paid a little bit of money for, and it's turned into this massive thing in a couple of years. So they do really well here. This is hot Texas. And let me give you some details about what I had to do. I did build a raised bed. I've done that for a lot of things I've done out here. It is ridiculous that I'm having to do this. I agree. If you feel that way, yes, I agree. Let's say money wasn't as much of a problem when we bought our house. And it's not that it's a problem now or anything, but I'm saying there was more money available, and I knew that there are times in people's lives it seems like that you might go to a phase where you do better, and then there's a phase where you just aren't doing as well as that one time, right? Well, I knew I was in that phase, and I knew this extra money wasn't going to last. And I was right. And I was like, I'm going to invest it in my yard. That's exactly what we bought this house for, was to build this. This is what we bought the house for. So I knew that's what I was going to put my money in. I couldn't afford to do all this again now. Could not. So it's awesome that I did it. But I did have to spend the money. I did buy pressure-treated wood, 1 foot tall. The soil that's in this is called an azalea mix from the place I bought it from. It's not bagged soil. I buy this stuff by the yard, and we had to rent a truck from Home Depot for $20 for 3 hours. and then had to come and unload it over in here years ago. If you look back at my videos, you'll see all this happening, I believe. They took this fence out. This is a replacement fence. The whole fence got torn up in some storms. But, you know, have trucks come in here and dump stuff, all that. This specialty soil was $45 for a yard. I only got a half of a yard, and it filled these 2 boxes. So I didn't pay that much, but I was buying other dirt that day. So it did take special soil. You can buy this soil in bags, okay? It don't have to come from by the yard, but it's cheaper by the yard. And it's a really light, fluffy soil. I can stick my finger, starting from the top, and go straight down to the ground if I wanted to. It's so fluffy, even after all these years. The leaves and stuff I'm adding for nutrition and for mulch. The clay outside of the box, the native soil here, you ain't sticking your finger through that. You cannot. You absolutely cannot. I can't even get it to dig up. All right, this is a difference. This light, fluffy soil, these things have little fibrous roots. They prefer this kind of soil. I paid for that money for all this thing to put this together years ago. I have not had to invest that money but one time. It's worth it to me. You can't get blueberries at the store like this, folks. I mean, are you kidding me? I can't say it's free, but every year I get a production out of it. You can amortize the cost over another year. Until these plants just die and stop producing, I get to take whatever it costs me to run this and divide that by another year, and that's now cheaper per berry that I paid to produce it on my own. And let's say if there's a global pandemic and, oh my goodness, you can't get blueberries in Texas no more, not from a store, well, guess what? My YouTube account will get deleted. Okay, anyway, I ain't gonna have to fight all y'all for my blueberries. But you guys, they sell this stuff at the store. And the neat thing is, they do really well here. Now, I have had to add, I didn't have to, I chose to add there's some bag stuff that you can, it's a kind of little pebbles, granules, I'll show it to you later. You can sprinkle it in, it helps acidify soil, right? But it's just like a handful of granules for this big box. Just sprinkle it in there. I like to do it right about the time I'm going to add more leaves in the fall. If I get another bag of leaves, this will melt down over the year and the box will be less full. And I get rid of the ants. And so I'm going to add more stuff. I'll go ahead and throw that sulfur stuff down. I've had this one bag for a couple of years. I literally only use it maybe once or twice a year. A handful, maybe 2, if it's in the late winter and I'm getting ready for summer. I give them that. I might give them a little fertilizer right in the spring before they flower to make them flower a little harder, just because I'm trying to make it happen. 1 scoop of Miracle Grow for acidic loving flowering plants, basically, or just for flowering plants. It's a little acidic. Anyway, that's all I've done. And this year, it's that. I did that this year, and I'm getting really great results. So, all that organic, I ain't trying to hear it right now, okay? I'm trying to eat. I'm not trying to hear all that. I don't think that sulfur, which is a natural compound, is going to bother me anyway. And it's actually, I think it says it's organic. So the blueberries do well here. I'm shocked. I'm really surprised. I think anyone should try these if you're willing to put a little effort into the beginning of it, because also this is a long-lived plant. These plants are known to live 40 to 50 years. Peach trees, as an example, peach trees are only known to live 10 to 14 years. I didn't even know that until I got into trees trying to select varieties. I do not have peach trees here. I'm not going to have peach trees here. I'm not going to plant a tree that's going to die in a decade. I don't want to do that. These are 40, 50 year plants. And another highlight we're going to do is going to be our asparagus. When we get our asparagus in, that's a 50-year plant, asparagus. So blueberries are worth your time and trouble. They are a little expensive to buy. Sometimes they're $20, $30 a pot. Golly. But once they get going like this, I have reproduced mine. Not for sale, but for my own purposes. They'll start to throw out these new shoots, right? And they spread from the ground. You can carefully, in the winter when it doesn't have leaves on, dig these up and pot them and take real good care of them. And I can't tell you all the details how to do it, but if you can do that, you get new blueberry plants. And every one of those little stalks that are coming out can be dug up. We dug up 3 and they're growing. And I have them over there on the machine. I doubt y'all can see it from here, but it's there. There's some pots on the machine in that upper left corner. And yeah, so anyway, they're going to grow from there. So blueberries. Tiff Blue, Climax, Rabbit Eye, blueberry varieties. Your Home Depot is only going to sell varieties for your area. If you're in Texas, the chances are, there is a chance, but the chances are they're not going to be selling the Northern High Bush, which needs huge amount of winter or it won't make fruit every year. They're not even going to sell those in the Home Depots here. So you can trust Home Depot a slight amount to pick varieties, their nursery manager, to pick varieties to sell that are for this area. And again, Home Depot specials. That's all it is. Little special dirt, just because my dirt isn't good for it. It's clay is alkali. They need slight acidity, or at least some, decent acidity. And they'll do this for you apparently. And they'll eventually get really tall too. They actually get 5, 6, 7 feet tall if they get real, real tall. So these plants are just not even done yet, not even started. All right, blueberries in Texas. Ooh, here's one with a tag. This is to let y'all know. So old, Tiff blue. Yeah, it's ancient. It's crackling. All right, 7-year-old blueberry. We'll talk to you guys soon.